When you think about the issue of Iran, it's important to put it into context. Why does this matter? You know, a lot of people think it's a Jewish issue or it's an Israeli issue. People are fear-mongering and whatever. Is this really something I should worry about? If you were going to ask me that question, I would tell you unequivocally the answer is yes. But I'm also going to tell you why and why that matters. If you look at the world and you look at it from an American perspective, we tend to be a very hopeful people. We hope for the future, and we encourage personal liberty and personal opportunity. And what most people want is a good life with their family and an opportunity to see their kids graduate from high school and to see their grandkids graduate from high school, a culture of life and of opportunity to accomplish their dreams. Most Americans don't have opportunity to really engage other cultures. And we live in a world with many different cultures and many different systems of value. Sometimes these cultures are similar and people can get along with relative ease. If you think of countries like England in the United States or Canada in the United States, the similarities vastly outweigh the differences. But there are cultures in the world and systems of belief that don't agree with each other and stand actually in direct contradiction to each other. And these are the ones that can become a problem and end up in international conflict or misunderstanding or even war. Iran is a great example of this, but not the people in general, the regime. The regime in Iran is controlled by extremist Islamist fundamentalists who believe not in individual values of liberty and pursuing opportunity for your children and for your families, but they believe in an interpretation of Islam which tells them that in order to bring about the resurrection, the world needs to descend into complete chaos. So that was a mouthful. What does that mean? Right now, Americans look at the idea of negotiations, and you think, well, look at the Cold War. You know, two nations in power with nuclear weapons everywhere could have had the opportunity to destroy each other, but they didn't because each side wanted to live and they wanted that opportunity. If you look at Iran, you know, some people are asking, isn't this the same kind of question? Well, Israel has nuclear weapons and a lot of other countries do, so why shouldn't they have it also? The difference here is because of the valuing of individual life. We live in the Western society, and Western society values a culture of life. A culture of life means that individuals should live and that life should be protected above all else. When you look at this small segment of Muslims who believe in this level of fanaticism, life isn't the most important thing to them. There's an idea in Islam called the Mahdi. The Mahdi is supposed to come back and bring about the resurrection through a global catastrophe and bring about global war. Most Muslims believe that the Mahdi will come and then after he arrives, catastrophe will come about. But a small segment of these fanatics believe that catastrophe must come first. And so their main objective, and they see themselves and their objective as playing a role in bringing about the redemption of mankind by descending the world into chaos, which will bring about this Mahdi and the end of the world. This may sound like a religious story that doesn't have much relevance to us today, but it does. And as a young person in the United States, we live in a cocoon, and we got a little taste of what this mentality can bring about on 9/11. That mentality still exists. There's hundreds of thousands of people around the world who believe that descending the world into chaos will bring the Mahdi and the next era for Islam to take over the world. They're trying to accomplish this objective every day. And Iran is run by a regime who subscribes to this objective and this belief and this mentality. That means that negotiations can delay, and they can give us hope as Americans. We talked about hope before. We hope that things can be better and people can get along. The unfortunate reality is that people can't always agree on objectives like this. We hope for life and hope for individual freedom. Not everyone else does. And when a regime who believes that chaos must come before redemption and global catastrophe has the opportunity to bring themselves the means to bring that about, that's a problem. And that's a problem not just for Jews and not just for Israel, but a problem for all free and life-loving peoples around the world.